Hi, and thank you for your interest in hearing more about roofing contractors insurance to help you make an informed decision on your coverage options. My name is Karen Henry. I'm the Vice President of Marketing for Breckenridge Insurance Group, and we're pleased to have this opportunity to be working with the team at Monday Morning Markets to bring you this helpful product knowledge video, along with our expert Bob Lenhart, who specializes in roofing insurance and is a long-standing professional underwriter in this space. Welcome, Bob.
Thank you, Karen.
So, Bob, roofing contractors provide a valued skill in helping build and maintain homes and businesses throughout the country. What do you see as the purpose of general liability insurance that is offered in this space for these providers, both large and small?
Well, Karen, the purpose for general liability for the roofing contractors is actually to provide, first of all, property damage coverage for their customers, also to provide bodily injury coverage to their customers again, and third, to provide third-party action over coverage, which actually protects their employees. And that's really the main reason and purpose for the general liability.
Great. Thanks, Bob. So who specifically needs these coverages and why?
Well, Karen, all roofing contractors are required to carry general liability in the majority of the states for their state licensing requirements. And also, any contractor who works for general contractors and any contractor who works specifically for property owners also is required and must have general liability.
Fantastic. Among these types of exposures that are in the roofing space, what are some of those that are of note that you would want insureds to pay particular attention to as a risk management professional?
I think some of the key exposures and factors for the roofing contractors is, first of all, again, working for general contractors. When you work for a general contractor, it's important that you read that contract to see what risk you have and what risk you're taking on. Secondly, contractors who do any hot work really need to be concerned and know that that is a key exposure and factor for their business. And third, contractors that remove existing roofs. That's a very, very key factor in exposure to make sure that these contractors and roofing contractors have the proper insurance.
So with the risks that are in this space, what typically would drive the cost or even maybe some savings that one can expect from seeking coverage for their business?
Sure, that's a good question. The cost of insurance is actually established by the payrolls and or receipts for every different description of work that a roofing contractor does. The next key factor is what is your loss history. Of course, contractors that have a higher loss ratio, their premiums are going to increase, so it's important to keep your loss ratio under control. Next, the coverage that you desire can also affect the cost of insurance. There are several options available that we'll talk about later and that your agent will discuss specifically with you, but the coverage that you select also will determine the cost. Next is to make sure that preventative loss control programs are in place in your business. This really helps keep the cost down and also control your losses. And lastly, it's important that a roofing contractor have a complete safety program. And again, your agent can work in helping you develop this for your business.
Very helpful. Thank you. As options exist in this space, what kinds of things should the insureds be looking to their agents to deliver to help them protect themselves best?
Well, what a good agent can deliver to the contractor, first of all, is knowledge, personal knowledge of the roofing industry. So you want to make sure that your agent that you deal with has that knowledge of this particular industry. It's also important to have the assurance of proper claims handling. Again, this is where your agent comes in and is very important to you to understand and assure you that the carrier that you're placed with knows how to handle claims. Next, it provides coverages. Your agent provides coverages that you need within this unique industry. Because, again, the roofing industry is a very unique industry with special needs. Next, it's important that your agent have a reliable group of insurance carriers, and that's why you want to deal, again, with that very, very good agent. Also, proper auditing of your policies at the end of them for the different classifications that you have, including subs that you use, it's important that you work with an agent who understands how these audits are handled.
All good insights, and it just further demonstrates the need to have a really knowledgeable agent in the process. I know you wanted to touch on some of the relevant examples of the types of claims and things that may occur in this space, and again, kind of emphasize the importance of the agent for us.
Absolutely. And Karen, what a good agent can deliver to you are some of these different types of incidences that we have seen. Very common claims in the roofing industry are when you have sudden rainstorms, and they're called open roof claims. To make sure that these are paid, and give you an example, the most recent one we've seen was $125,000 that was paid out by our carrier. But it's important that your agent knows that that coverage is on and with your policy. The next thing, again, we talked earlier about hot work. Well, we see those claims not frequently because they're starting to diminish because of the cool work now that's going on. But hot work is still out there, particularly when you're doing redos and fixing just particular leaks on large commercial buildings. And our most recent one we've seen was a $75,000 claim. So again, you can see the dollar amounts are large, and what your agent will give you is the assurance that losses like this will be paid. Another one we've recently seen, and happens kind of frequently, is material fell off the roof and actually damaged a vehicle that was parked underneath it. That particular example was a $15,000 claim that was paid. And last, we see this fairly often during rainy seasons, but gutters become clogged during rain. A lot of times they'll back up on the roof and go into weak sections of a roof. In this particular case, we saw $25,000 paid. So what a good agent delivers you, a good knowledgeable agent can deliver to you, is assurance that these claims are handled and paid properly.
All really good examples, and I'm sure those on the call can appreciate. Just before we let you go, and because of your expertise in the space, are there any last thoughts or advice that you would want to share with the audience today to help them out with this process of shopping for their insurance?
Yes, Karen, I think some of the best general advice to a roofing contractor is basically to understand that the policies you have are definitely unique. So you should always be overly cautious of what is and what is not covered in your policy. And that's the advice that you'll get from your agent. Next, you need to check with and work closely with your agent on the options that you have. Make sure loss control services are available to you. Confirm the carrier expertise in claims handling, and that they have experts available to support and back up the claims adjusters representing your losses. Again, this industry is very unique. Your agent will help tailor the right coverage and solution for your roofing needs.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Bob, for your time and your insights, and thank you to Monday Morning Markets for this opportunity to share some helpful advice with the audience. We do appreciate those who have taken time out to listen today, and definitely encourage you to reach out to your agent for the best possible solution. Thank you so much.